Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of TXN, Talking Wrestling TXN. It is Girl Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio. We are awaiting the arrival of Michael Bullock. If he comes in, then we'll catch up on what he missed. If we are not, then I guess we'll see him on Tuesday night. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are at it again with another event, and this time we're going to give you a 2-for-1 tonight. We're going to give you the recap of Crown Jewel that went down from Perth, Australia yesterday. And then we're also going to be giving you TNA Bound for Glory. That went down here tonight from Lowell, Massachusetts. And we are just about ready to go. And here we go. So let's start it off with the first fight of the night. An Aussie rules street fight, as it was Big Bronson Reed going up against Roman Reigns. Winner of the bout in 21 minutes was Bronson Reed. Unbelievable jump off to the show. This was as crazy and chaotic as we thought it was going to be. And yes, at the end of the day, Big Bronson Reed does get the win, but he did get help. He got help from Braun Breaker. Obviously, Braun got involved in the match and was helping him out. The Usos did come out, but a major miscommunication by Jey Uso as he accidentally speared Roman Reigns through a table that led to the finish, and Bronson Reed hitting the tsunami for the 1, 2, 3. And yes, I did say it just like that during the commentary. And Anthony Florio is like, you could put it in the bucket. It's done. And he was like, big win for Big Bronson Reed. So, yes, absolutely. It's a big win for Big Bronson Reed. This was easily 3.5 to, you could even make an argument for 4 if you want to. I'm not going to blame you for it. Anthony Florio, it is all yours. Like you said, it was the biggest win of Big Bronson Reed's career. He took down the OTC. He took down the Tribal Chief. He took out Roman Reigns.
That he did, Emmett. That he did. In even 21 minutes, this match was made up of a series of small sequences. They would do a few things, and then there would be a momentary lull before they moved on to the next sequence. It's not unusual for this type of bout, but it was especially noticeable here. That being said, this was a decent match. It was not the violent spectacle WWE would have you believe it was, but it had some fun moments. Bronson Reed getting the win was the right call. And that's all there is to say on that. So 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4 of a star. That's the best I can go for this one. So yeah, and major disintegration within the bloodline here. There's definitely more to that story than meets the eye. And we're gonna have to keep an eye on that tomorrow when we have Monday Morning Raw in this case. So we'll see what happens. So but yeah, by hook or by crook, it's the biggest win of Bronson Reed's career. You beat a man who had the longest title reign of this modern era, 1,316 days. And he's only the second man to pin Roman Reigns in a one-on-one match after several years. The other, of course, being Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 when he finished the story. So, 3.5, 3 3/4. That's the best I can go. So with that, let's move on to our next match.
All right, the next match was for the women's Crown Jewel title. It was from Monday Night Raw, the women's world champion Stephanie Booker versus, representing SmackDown, the WWE women's champions Tiffany Stratton, winner of the bout in 10 minutes and 5 seconds, and the second ever WWE women's Crown Jewel champion, now to go alongside with the first ever champion, Liv Morgan. It was La Primera, the Dark Angel, Stephanie Booker, representing Monday Night Raw. She wins it in 10:05. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Yes, sir. La Primera was the more aggressive competitor. She was not working like a heel, but she wasn't leaning into being a babyface either. The longer the match went, the more competitive it felt. Both women used some moves we don't see from them often in an attempt to make this match stand out. They had a couple of sloppy spots, but the majority of what they did looked good. I would say by default, this was the worst fight of the night, only because the other matches were just that much better. And not saying it was a bad match at all. It's just that it was a little pressed for time. But other than that, the best I can go on this one would be maybe 3 to 3.25. But I will say it, they got this one right. I mean, no disrespect to Tiffany Stratton, but Stephanie Vaquer is getting the rocket. She's getting the rocket pack treatment here. I mean, as of right now, she is currently my front runner for female wrestler of the year in 2025.
No arguments. Yeah, agreed.
You can also make an argument for Tiffany Stratton in that regard, too, because she's been the WWE Women's Champion all year long. All year, she's held that title. You can make an argument for her. But with what Stephanie Vaquer has done this year, winning the Women's North American Championship, I think it was at New Year's Eve, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yep, she won the Women's North American Championship at the New Year's Eve in January. Unified that title with the NXT Women's Championship at the theater in Madison Square Garden in March on the Roadblock special, defeating Julia. And then she goes over to Monday Night Raw, makes an immediate impact. Yes, she was not used on television for several weeks. I know she had a small injury issue, and I think she even had some visa issues that she needed to work on, but looks like all of that has been squared away, and she becomes the women's world champion after Naomi had to relinquish the title due to her pregnancy. And now you add this to her list of accolades. I think La Primera is I think I just summed it up. I think La Primera. I know we still have 2.5 months or so to go in this year, but unless I see something from another female that really wows me, I can honestly say right now, as of this moment in 2025, Stephanie Vaquer, La Primera, is the female wrestler of the year. 3 to 3.25 stars. MF, how do you follow it?
Yeah, no, I think it's almost to the point that after winning that match last night or yesterday, she locked it up. In my opinion, she locked up the female wrestler of the year. I don't see anybody else that could come close, unless you want to talk about Famar from AAA. She's the only one that maybe you can make an argument that deserves that could get female wrestler of the year, because right now I don't see anybody else. And I know a lot of people are yelling, well, what about Toni Storm? What about Toni Storm from AEW? Granted, I would say that, but she did lose the belt recently to Chris Statlander. Now, if she gets the belt back, that would put her back in the conversation. But right now, she is on the outside looking in. Right now, I would probably say Stephanie Vaquer is definitely the female wrestler of the year. Famar from AAA is definitely right there. Like, she is neck and neck with La Primera, but I would still give it to Stephanie over Famar. To put my 2 cents on it, Anthony. Actually, we just got Michael Bullock. Welcome to the show, Mike. You didn't really miss much. We only covered the Roman Reigns match with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed winning the match in 21 minutes. So give me a quick thought on that.
Yeah, I thought this was a good way to start off the matches portion of. I mean, I think this was the right outcome here, and I'm sure you saw. I mean, it looks like there's some dissension with Roman and the Usos, because you saw what Roman said. I don't want to see you guys until Christmas. So, yeah, and there was even some dissension with Roman, and so we're gonna have to keep an eye on all this. So, But either way, it's a big win for Bronson, and obviously you had to give the win to him because hello, he's from Australia. So yeah, I mean, a great way to start it off. So it's yours, Fletch.
And the only other match that we covered, Stephanie Vauquer winning the Women's Crown Jewel Championship out over Tiffany Stratton in 10:05.
Well, by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though there wasn't anything remotely bad about it. I can give this about 3, maybe teetering on 3.25, but, and I'll tell you this right now, Fletch, I think Stephanie Vauquer is I think she's got to be the front runner for female wrestler of the year, because
Yes.
look at the impact that she's made since coming to the main roster, and
Yep.
the sky's the limit for her, and I think it's only going to get better and better for your girl. So
Yes.
big win for her. I mean, again, I think it's plenty more things to come for her. So there's really nothing more to say.
All right. And we were just talking about getting into a little bit of debate about it to Michael Bullock. Like I said, or I don't know if you heard this coming in, but I also thought that Famar from AAA is probably the only other person that we can legitimately say that probably has a shot at being Female Wrestler of the Year because of the fact that she as well, Anthony, has held the Reina de Reinas championship for well over the entire calendar year. As a matter of fact, Anthony, she is now running with that belt for 2 years straight. She has not lost a title in over 2 years as the Reina de Reinas champion. So that would be the only reason why I would say Famar is in the conversation. However, for longevity, for impact, for everything that you guys are talking about, Stephanie wins the award, at least right now, in my opinion. So next up we had was John Cena going up against the phenomenal AJ Styles, and it was John Cena winning it 27 minutes, 10 seconds. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
Okay, I mean, without a doubt to me, Fletch, this is indeed the fight of the night here. Fight of the night, and I don't know how you're gonna feel, but I'm pulling the trigger. This was a 5-star classic, and I gotta say, I mean, these two deserve major props because, I mean, how old is it? Is AJ like 47?
AJ's up there, yeah. I think he
He
is.
is.
Yeah, and John
Yeah,
Cena
he
is
is.
48 years old.
And we're going to be talking about that
And
later on
for
with
those two,
some more gentlemen.
For those two to put on a match like that, I mean, that's just it's just unreal. I mean, how many often do you see guys in their late 40s putting on a match like what we saw?
Yeah.
Not too often, but only the caliber of AJ Styles and John Cena can do that. They've done it before. I mean, heck, SummerSlam 2016, Royal Rumble in January of 2017. Now this. And I love what they did. I mean, of course, John Cena with his usual intro, but John Cena wanted Alicia Taylor to give AJ Styles an intro, saying that he's the face of total nonstop action, referring to TNA, and that he is the boss of the Bullet Club. I mean,
that's going to be the one that could get AJ in trouble because even the enthusiasts, they loved it. They couldn't believe they said it, but there was a few that took a little umbrage about AJ being the boss of the Bullet Club. There was a few that took major offense to that comment.
Well, I think this is just Cena. I mean,
no, I know what you're saying, but I know there are a couple of people that's going to take umbrage with it. And actually, one who I think could take umbrage with it would be Finn Balor. Could this lead to a Balor versus AJ fight now? Because of this.
But, well, to me, and this is just me, Flex, I got no problem with it. Because this is just Cena giving his respect, his due to AJ.
Agreed.
They've had their problems. But
the thing is this, Michael Bullock. In all the year, and here's the reason why I'm talking about the umbrage thing, because I follow Bullet Club, I follow New Japan, and yes, the original leader is Doc Gallows. Doc Gallows is the original OG of the Bullet Club. He's the one that started it. He's the one that brought the Bullet Club to life. So, but the thing is, he also brought in all these members, but AJ made it. But Balor was first. So that's why I'm yelling about the Balor, because Balor was first. He was part of the team first before AJ showed up. When Balor left was when AJ joined. Right around that time. So that's why.
Here's another thing. You talk about maybe Finn Balor and AJ because of that, but what about Finn Balor and John Cena?
The problem is, I don't think, because it sounds like they have the remaining ideas for Cena laid out.
Well, we already know one of them. Well, actually, I know two of them.
Yeah.
Well, one of them we already know, which is obviously Gunther for his final match.
And there's also rumor about it being possibly Dom at Survivor Series in San Diego. So that's the second one.
What did you say you got cut off there?
Dominic at Survivor Series in San Diego.
And for the Intercontinental Championship.
And for the Intercontinental title.
Because what's the one title that has eluded John Cena?
IC.
Yes. So, does that mean he's going to win it? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But but here's another thing. He's also got a couple appearances on Raw. Maybe they do see
one at TD Garden
on Raw.
One at TD Garden in Boston, and one that's in Madison Square Garden in New York. Yes, we know that. Possible.
I'm just saying it's possible.
Possible
because of that. So, but getting back to this, all Cena with all the moves in tribute to certain wrestlers, but the one that really got me when he hit Sister Abigail, and you saw the Firefly lights come on. Because the last time John Cena was in the ring with Bray Wyatt, I think was Elimination Chamber when Bray Wyatt won the title. And you also remember the rivalry that these two had in 2014. But the one that I really got a kick out of was when he actually hit a tombstone on him. So, and even AJ Styles did some moves in tribute to certain wrestlers. So, but despite all that, a great match, 5-star classic, fight of the night, and John Cena won the match. But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, they're both winners as far as I'm concerned. For them, at the ages that they're at, late in their career, to give a 5-star match like that, mad respect to both of them. And you saw it when they embraced each other after the match. And here it is, John Cena retiring at the end of the year. But we all know next year, it's going to be AJ's swan song. So, mad respect to both of them. And I don't know about you guys. Which of the matches did you think were better? Which one did you think was better when it comes to these two? from their match at SummerSlam in 2016, Royal Rumble in 2017, or this one?
Eesh.
In my honest opinion, I'm going to say this one because, because of the age they're at, and number two, it's internationally. Did you see the way the crowd was during that match? Man, that was just unbelievable. So, 5 stars, fight of the night. John Cena may have won the match, but like I said, they're both winners because of. And you saw the praise on social media from The Undertaker and even from Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people giving this one high praise. So, there's really nothing more for me to say. It is yours, Fletch.
Yeah, actually, I want to make a little bit of an indemnity here. So I'm looking at the list of the members of the Bullet Club, like throughout the timeline and the history. So the original members, the original OG of the Bullet Club, were Prince Devitt, which is Finn Balor, Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, and Carl Anderson. They were the original members of the Bullet Club. Doc Gallows did not join the Bullet Club. Let me see. Until November of 2013. AJ basically joined the group on April 6th, 2014. So when Prince Devitt left, and that's Finn Balor, he was the original leader because they were established. The Bullet Club was born on May 3rd, 2013. That was when the Bullet Club was created. 1 year later, less than a year later, Balor left. April 6th, 2014. And it was at that point AJ joined and became the new leader. He overthrew Finn Balor as the new leader of the Bullet Club. And the rest was history. So that's where the line is going to be drawn. If you're Finn Balor, if you're looking at John Cena, you're going to be like, excuse me? I'm the original leader here, bitch. Respect me now. So that's where that's going to be going. Now, it also could lead to maybe Balor versus Cena for the Intercontinental title. He could say, well, you beat my boy Dom. Now I'm coming after you because of that. It's possible. That's why you get Boston. That's why you get Madison Square Garden. That's where you throw that fight. So we'll see. 5 stars. Fight of the night. No arguments here. Dare I say maybe the best fight in the entire series? Who knows? But at the end of the day, it was incredible. I loved it. I enjoyed it from beginning to end, from the entrances to the match itself. It was incredible, man. I mean, God. Cena only has maybe 4 appearances left. And with AJ retiring in 2026, man, an era of professional wrestling is coming to an end, boys. And I don't know what we're gonna do, man. I don't know what we're gonna do when these guys, when this ends, man. Cena this year, AJ next year. What the hell, man? I'm not ready for this. I'm not. Anthony, it's yours.
5-star classic, fight of the night. Man alive. I mean, it's a 5-star match that's going to be talked about for years to come. It was a fun encounter with lots of callbacks that allowed both men to shine. Maybe it's not for everyone, but the fans who liked it probably loved it. We loved it. John Cena and AJ Styles have always been good dance partners. And the only small little criticism I have is that it felt like it didn't feel like they were trying to outdo their previous performances. And that's a good thing. Just two veterans having one last match to pop the crowd and themselves. For roughly 30 minutes, John Cena and AJ Styles had the crowd eating out of the palms of their hands. It took a tombstone pile driver, followed by an AA, to finally put AJ down for the 3 count. AJ Styles was wearing his short trunks instead of his usual long tights. It was a bit of a callback to his TNA gear, which made the TNA reference in his introduction even cooler. Yes, the Bullet Club was also mentioned. The pop Cena got for his entrance was wild. Even he looked surprised by it. And of course, you saw the emotion from John Cena when the crowd paid tribute to Bray Wyatt with the fireflies and singing "The Whole World in His Hands" like Bray used to do. I mean, oh my goodness. And both of these men are 48 years old. Let's not lose sight of that. Both of these men are 48 years old, and they gave us a classic like that. Unbelievable. This is definitely the best match of their series. I mean, don't get me wrong. The SummerSlam match in 16 was amazing. The Rumble in 17 was amazing. But this right here, this topped it. When you have a red hot international crowd, and we know how those international crowds are, they like I said, Cena and AJ had a meeting out of the palm of their hands. Simple as that. And for these two men who are both 48 years old to give us a high quality match like that makes you respect them even more. So thank you, John Cena. Thank you, AJ Styles. It did not matter who won this match, because in all honesty, we the fans, we were the real winners when it comes to this match. 5-star classic, fight of the night, nothing more to say. And we move on to the return, the hometown return. Mommy came home.
Yes, it was Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in a tag team match against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. And it was Io and Rhea winning in 1955. All right. Set aside the fact that this was Rhea's hometown. Set aside the fact that obviously Rhea and Io are the two most over. It was a fine match. You could tell the fans were a little deflated because of what happened in the AJ Cena, so this was more of a cool down fight. It was a 3.5-star bout. However, personally, the wrong team won. And I know I'm going to get a little flack for it, but I believe Kairi and Asuka should have won this fight. They should have given it to them. I would have, because you could have played the story a little more off this match if the Kabuki Warriors would have won. Because this would have put seed of doubt into Io. And that's the main story that I would be telling. By Io and Rhea winning this, I don't know if you can run this back. I don't think you can under this circumstance. A lot of people were saying that too. That Rhea and Io definitely didn't, it's good that they won, but they didn't really need this win. Where the Kabuki Warriors actually did. Because it would have made more logical sense in a storyline faction more than anything else. Nothing more to say, Anthony. It is yours.
3.5 to this is another 3.5-star match. This was exactly what we all expected this match to be. All 4 women brought a lot of energy and physicality to the ring, so this was entertaining from start to finish. There was not a weak link. Everyone played a role and looked great between the ropes. Referee gave a lot of leeway when it came to making the non-legal partner leave the ring. So the second half of this involved all 4 women in most of the action. Kairi sacrificed herself to save Asuka, but it led to her demise as Rhea and Io hit their finishers on them on Kairi for the win. And I'll tell you what. I mean, MF does make a good point in this. I mean, you could have easily put the Kabuki Warriors over here to add to the context of the story. I definitely agree. I mean, we want to see, me personally, I want to see more of a story-driven product. I pride myself on storyline progression. We all do. And MF does make a very valid point. And yeah, you could have I mean, with Rhea and Io winning this match, where do we go next with the story? I don't know. So in a way, if I'm going to be honest with you, MF, you're exactly perfectly right. The Kabuki Warriors should have gone over, and you could have added further context to this story, which we take very, very, very seriously. So I'm going to give this one to you, MF. You're absolutely right. They got this one wrong. The only reason why Rhea and Io went over was because, hello, where's Rhea from? Australia. So, predictable outcome. The outcome was predictable. But that's not to say it wasn't a bad match at all. That's not to say it was a bad match, because it wasn't. It's a 3.5-star match, but the question is, where do we go from here now with Rhea and Io winning? The Kabukis should have won this. They should have. MF is absolutely positively right. I could not agree with you more. So, not much more for me to say on that. 3.5 stars. Michael Bullock, solid match. Yes. 3.5 stars. I will give it that. But the outcome was predictable. It's only because of Rhea being from Australia. That's the only reason that they won this match. You should have given it to the Kabukis, and you could have easily added more context to this story. You could have made this story play out even more, and we could have had more to work with here. But now, with Rhea and Io going over, now what? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
Well, I mean, we'll find out actually later on this morning when Monday Night Raw airs at 8:00 in the morning, because they are going to be from Australia. So we'll see where they go with this. But I agree. I mean, like you said, I think the only reason why they did this, because this is Rhea's home. I think any other place they had this, I think the Kabuki Warriors would have gone over here. So, yeah, so I'm 50-50. I mean, yes, they did this because of Rhea being from Australia, but another part of me agrees with you guys, because you want to have the Kabuki Warriors go over and continue with the whole story. And also, let's not forget also, where does Kairi Sane because you could just see she's still conflicted. I mean, it's like she's stuck in the middle. It's like she wanted to try to bring Io Sky back, but Asuka keeps saying no. As far as I'm concerned, Io Sky is dead to me. And then with the whole Kairi, so it's almost like Asuka is barking orders to Kairi Sane to do what Asuka tells her to do. And you wonder if how much more is Kairi going to take before she says, you know what, Asuka, enough is enough. You've been pushing me around. You put me in a spot where no matter what, I lose. So we'll see where this goes, because we got to keep an eye on that too. So how much longer will Kairi take it before maybe she finally snaps and breaks away from Asuka being a boss? So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch. It's a 3.5
The main event of the the main event of the evening for the Crown Jewel Championship on the men's side. It is the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins versus the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, winner of the bout, 29 minutes, 40 seconds, and new Crown Jewel Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
A clean sweep from Monday Night Raw. Yeah, where we heard that before. Anyways, 4.25 stars is the best I can give this match. This was the second best fight of the night. Every match these two have had has been great, and this was no exception. This likely will not be considered better than any of their previous encounters, but it told a different story than those matches. This was about how desperate Seth Rollins was to not let history repeat itself. He tried to use the Rolex watch that Cody gave him for being his shield at WrestleMania 40 as a weapon, but he couldn't bring himself to do it, and it allowed Cody to make a comeback and hit a flurry of moves for a close 2 count. Both men took some big risks and had some close calls on the way to the finish. Seth eventually used the Rolex as the weapon behind the referee's back before hitting a super stomp, a super curb stomp for the win to become the men's crown jewel champion. And you noticed, and one of the things I liked about this match was there was no interference. We had no interference from the Vision or anybody else. I mean, yes, Seth cheated to win, but still, I mean, it shows you, and what's the story being told here? The desperation of Seth Rollins to finally get over on Cody Rhodes after going 0 for 3 in that trilogy of matches they had in 2022. WrestleMania 38, when Cody returned to WWE after 6 years. The match that the three of us saw right here in our neck of the woods in Providence when we went to the WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view. It took Cody pulling the tights to get the win on that night. And then, of course, the Hell in a Cell match. Hell in a Cell, where Cody had the ugliest bruise you will ever see after he tore the tricep off the bone. Still went through with the match. That's really when we all gained a measure of respect for Cody Rhodes. I know I certainly did. That's when I was starting to personally root for him to finish his story, which he eventually did a year and a half ago. But they got the outcome right here. Cody won it last year. It would not have made sense for him to go back to back. Seth was due to beat Cody, and he did. He gets it, and now let's see what happens now with Seth Rollins as the men's crown jewel champion. And I mean, it was a 4.25 star match. There was one thing that did rub me the wrong way towards the end when he scared away Kathy Kelly. I was not a big fan of that. You guys know how much I love Kathy Kelly, and I was not a big fan of that. I was a little like, really, bro? Come on. But other than that, second best fight of the night. It's 4.25 stars. That's the correct rating for this match. They got the outcome right. Seth was due, and that's that. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Seth freaking Rollins winning the men's crown jewel championship. He finally gets one over on Cody Rhodes, even though he had to win by nefarious means to do it.
Yeah, 4.25 for me on this one. I mean, second best fight of the night. I mean, yeah, Seth finally gets over on Cody Rhodes, even though he used that Rolex watch to led to the eventual outcome. So, but this was indeed the right outcome, the right winner. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to add on to it. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 4.25 stars, no doubt about it. Solid main event. We all said Seth needed to win this match, and he does. He gets the big win. So good on Seth. Good for the win for him. And well, let's move on. And I believe Michael Bullock, you have overall review. So what did you think of this show?
I thought this was a very good show, and there were people said that WWE needed a bounce back after what happened with WrestlePalooza. I mean, and I think they did it. I mean, when you have your quote unquote worst fight of the night being a 3.25 star match in that women's title match, that means you're doing something good. I mean, there were some things I thought they definitely could have done better, but all in all, I thought there really really wasn't that much to complain about. So I'm going to give this about maybe 8 to 8.5 for this edition of Crown Jewel. So Fletch, as I give it to you, it's onward to the Survivor Series now.
It is onward to the Survivor Series, and I partially disagree with you, Michael Bullock. I'm actually going to go higher, 8.5 to 9 out of 10. This was an excellent show, a tremendous bounce back from what was an average and mediocre WrestlePalooza. And for ESPN, this is if you were hoping for a WWE quality event, you got it with this one. This was exactly why you paid the money for this event, for these pay-per-views, because this was a great show. The fans was amazing. The action was amazing. That you could tell that there was a difference, that there was more excitement, there was more effort by the wrestlers and the performers in this show. It looked crisp. It looked clean. It looked amazing. Like you said, the only bad fight was actually Stephanie Volquera versus Tiffany Stratton, which wasn't bad at all. But at the end of the day, I think they nailed this. So to me, 8.5 to 9 out of 10 is my rating. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, 8.5 to 9 out of 10. But it doesn't come without constructive criticism, though. On paper, Crown Jewel was a fairly standard WWE PLE. It had 5 matches, mostly predictable outcomes, and it had a ton of ads and filler to pad the runtime. However, the show was different because it did not feature a single match for one of WWE's regular championships. The only gold on the line came with the Crown Jewel belts, which are a little more than trophies presented to the winners of champion versus champion matches. From a technical perspective, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes had the best match of the night from a technical perspective. But from a fan service perspective, John Cena and AJ Styles had the fans on the edge of their seats. The outcome to their match wasn't surprising, but how we got there was. Their use of several finishers from their biggest rivals gave this bout a unique vibe. It was not about stealing the show, even though they did. It was about 2 guys having their final performance together and paying homage to some important people in their careers. Bronson Reed getting a win over Roman Reigns, even with interference, is a big deal. As Michael Cole pointed out, he is only the second person to pin the OTC in recent years. So the Auszilla has joined an exclusive club. Both women's matches were good, but the tag bout was one of the highlights of the night. Every match had something to like about it, but it will likely be John Cena and AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins that are talked about most in the coming days. John Cena only has a few dates left on his farewell tour, so it'll be interesting to see how WWE uses that time. And by the way, congratulations, John Cena. That win over AJ Styles is now his 100th career premium live event victory. Second all-time only to Michael Bullock's all-time hero, The Undertaker, who had 107. So, very good show. 8.5, teetering on 9. I definitely agree with that rating. Very good show, to say the least. Definitely better than WrestlePalooza. And the guy from ESPN actually gave his review, and he actually gave it a solid B grade. He gave it a grade of solid B. So, yeah, you definitely won him over. So not much more to say. MF, we move on now to TNA's biggest event of the year, an event we almost went to, but unfortunately, due to trying to figure out how to get.
It was a logistical nightmare. We'll just say it like that. Logistically, it just didn't work out for us.
Boy, oh boy! If we had been,
are we regretting that decision right now?
Yeah.
Let's say it like that. We are regretting that we did not go. We'll say it like that.
Yeah, I mean, for some reasons that we just unfortunately couldn't go.
Yep.
But we wish we did.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into this. So, there was a pre-show fight. It was the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand. Inspiration winning the match in 5 minutes. So we're just going to move on with the show. Started out with the International Championship on the line, as it was former champion Steve Macklin going up against the current champion Frankie Kazarian, and the winner of the bout in 8 minutes, and new TNA International Champion Steve Macklin. He wins the title. Do you guys want to talk about the match, or do you just want me to just give the results? It's up to you.
Well, I do. There is something that does need to be addressed before anything else. Also,
sure.
Let's also not forget during the
Hall of Fame.
TNA Legends.
All right, we'll get it.
Yeah, TNA Legends, the beautiful people, and Mickie James took their rightful place in the TNA Hall of Fame before the first match of the night. And there is an argument to be made that the women's revolution in WWE does not happen without the efforts those women made to bring legitimacy back to women's wrestling in the 2000s. And
I agree.
My love of the beautiful people, especially Angelina Love. Of course, you had your thing for Velvet.
Oh, Velvet had me spellbound every time. Velvet Sky always had me spellbound every time.
Did you see how beautiful they looked tonight?
Oh yeah, they looked amazing. Amazing. Again, and Mickie James. Mickie James looked stunning here tonight as well. Yeah.
And Tracy Brooks, along with Tommy Dreamer, inducting the beautiful people, and and how about Victoria Terra, Lisa Marie Verone? I mean, she inducted Mickie James, and great moment, and great speeches by both of them, and well-deserved honor. And the pre-show match, but as far as what happened with the opener, a little surprised they went back to Macklin. I mean, Kazarian only won the title at Victory Road only a couple of weeks ago, and then they hot-shotted the titles back to Macklin. I mean,
but if you really think about it, Anthony, I think it makes more sense now because of what I'm about to announce in just a little bit. Because now it makes sense why they dropped the belt, or why Frankie lost the belt initially. Because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
the match was only 2.5 stars. Both men are pros, solid professional wrestlers who can deliver at any spot on the card in any match. Straightforward bout, did not attempt to reinvent the wheel, delivered physicality, gave fans what they wanted in the form of Macklin regaining the International Championship. Successful opener. So it was a solid 2.5. That's the best I can go.
All right. So the next fight on the card was Tessa Blanchard going one-on-one against Gia Miller. Tessa wins the match in 6 minutes, but hold on. It was cheating. Let's not call it for what it's worth. Gia did good. For her being the first major moment in the ring, she delivered. She did a great job. I thought she had a fine match. And she pushed Tessa to the limit. We got to give credit where credit's due. She did push Tessa. But Victoria Crawford, a.k.a. Alicia Fox, did get involved. Even though Jody Threat was there to try to be neutralizer, but the numbers game was a little too much, and Tessa getting the win at Bound for Glory. I'm not mad with the win. I'm not mad with the outcome. Gia, look, I know a lot of people like, oh, Gia should have gotten the come up. No. This is gonna build. This is only the first of what seems to be a little bit of a story here. So I'm in the impression that Gia will eventually get the win back, or eventually will beat Tessa, but this was not the moment. Even though she looked great, Gia Miller deserves all the love and all of the attention that she got, and she definitely deserves the praise that she got, and she's getting a lot of praise on social media tonight for a very good performance. But Tessa is more of the established wrestler. Tessa Blanchard is a primetime player. Like her or not, respect her or not, she is one of the aces in the women's division in TNA. And and I'm gonna openly admit it, it's probably a damn good thing that she's in that division right now, because let's be realistic, the women's division has taken a hit in the last few months. There's been a lot of, let's say, there's a lot of turnover right now, and TNA, I hate to say it, was one of the best the best in the women's division, has taken a little bit of a dip in the last few months. With the loss of Ash by Elegance, with the rumors going around of uncertainty with Masa Slamovich, the TNA Knockouts division has taken a hit. One of the few bright spots has been Tessa Blanchard. Regardless of what you may think of her outside of the ring, she's a damn good wrestler inside of the ring. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, to say the very least. Anthony, if you want to give a quick thought, it was about a 1.5 to 2 star bout.
It was the worst fight of the night. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, agreed on that.
2 to 2.25, maybe 2.5, but there was a strong story at play here, with the cocky and arrogant villain Tessa Blanchard underestimating her opponent Gia Miller and nearly paying the price. Instead, she resorted to cheating, proving that she was not quite as superior to Miller as she thought she was. Story-driven match, and it was exactly what fans should have expected. Now, here's the thing, though. Gia Miller has worked across the independents before, so she was not new to working a match, but she still did not allow the pressure or enormity of this event to adversely affect her here. And I am hopeful that this is not the last chance that Gia Miller has to compete in a TNA ring, because she has worked on an independent circuit before as a very, very dastardly heel. In TNA, she's sweeter than Granny's homemade apple butter, but when it comes to the independents, she ain't so sweet. Let me tell you that. Oh no. So that's all I can say on that. So and I know Bullock was upset about the outcome, but it is what it is. It's typical Blanchard. I mean, look at who her father is.
Yeah,
Tully Blanchard.
Yep, and he was pretty dastardly himself in his day. Oh yeah, he used to cut a whole bunch of corners and had no regrets doing it either. Him and Arn Anderson,
especially with the Four Horsemen. So.
Yeah, and him and Arn Anderson, the Brainbusters. Do you know how many times they remember the time when they won the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships? They didn't win that clean. They had help from Andre. Andre the Giant helped them get those belts.
Absolutely. In Worcester. So but anyways, this is right around the 2 to 2.25 threshold. It's the worst fight of the night. There was a part of me that wanted to see Gia get the win, but it is what it is. But Tessa Blanchard, like her or not, MF is absolutely right. I mean, one of the greatest knockouts champions of all time, the only woman to ever win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. So I don't know what else there is to say. So 2 to 2.25. And of course, when I sent the result in the messenger, Bullock was not happy about the outcome because of Tessa cheating to win. But it's what it is. It's typical Blanchard. What else is there to say?
Yeah.
So 2 to 2.25. And let's move on to our next match.
20-person interjet.
Bullock wants to say something.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'll give this about I'll give this about a 2 as well when it comes to this. I mean, and like you said, I mean, when she's inside the ring, she's really good. But it's outside of the ring that some of the things she does really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, and that's granted.
That's the
I
thing.
totally get it. I get it.
And that's why I mean, I respect her as an in-ring competitor, but outside the ring, totally different story. That's all I'll say.
And I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think, and a lot of people have been saying that. You're not the only one. It's just a lot of it never really reaches the forefront because everybody kind of focused more on that level, that wing, the
Yeah.
wrestling more than anything else. But I get it.
Even though there was the time when she did return to Impact, that there were fans basically saying
Oh
things like
yeah, they were pretty ruthless.
So
They were pretty ruthless. They were pretty
they
ruthless.
know of some of the things she's done outside the ring, and unfortunately they
Yeah.
haven't forgotten it.
Yep.
That's the thing. So
And
yeah,
I'm
really
not
nothing more to
surprised
say.
either.
So let's move on. So let's move on to the next match on the Bound for Glory card.
20-person intergender call your shot gauntlet. When it was all said and done, we had co-winners, folks. Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth both winning because we had a double pin at the end. The two referees counted 1, 2, 3. One for Nick Nemeth, one for Frankie Kazarian. Santino Marella came out and was like, you know what? Since we had a double pin, you both get the call your shot gauntlet. You both get your hands on the trophy. Therefore, that means either man at any time will be allowed to call their shot for the TNA world title or any title that they see fit up to 1 year, as long as you have possession of the trophy. A lot of people were not happy about this outcome. A lot of people were really upset with this outcome. The fans in Lowell poo-pooed over this decision. Social media poo-pooed over this decision. Look, I get it. I mean, it actually does make sense. It's a good story hook to have, but boy, did this leave a bitter taste in my mouth on this one. The match was fine. It was about, and it's tough to call more than anything else, Anthony. But look, Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian, both two guys who you could easily make an argument who could be world heavyweight champions in TNA. Nemeth reached that pinnacle about a year ago. Frankie has been looking to be the TNA world champion for a while now. And now they both have possession of it. Yes, by various means, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of a screwy finish, but I'm not mad about this result. I can't be too mad that both men that can make their claim for the call your shot here.
Yeah, they were in a tough position when it comes to by the way, the time of the fall was 26 minutes and 55 seconds. Lei Ying Lee was number 1. Mara Sade was number 2. Ryan Nemeth was number 3. Nick Nemeth was number 4. Cedric Alexander, number 5. Rich Swann, number 6. AJ Francis, number 7. Travis Williams was 8. YouTuber BDE was number 9. And then at number 10, all 3 members of the Rascals as a collective unit, as a package unit. Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz. Number 11 was Danny Luna. 12 was Eric Young. 13 was Jake something. 14 was Rosemary. 15 was the hometown man. 16, Zach Clayton, who came out with little Guido Maritato of the FBI. I know MF was definitely marking when he saw that. 17 was Frankie Kazarian. 18 was Santino Marella. 19 was Matt Cardona. And number 20 was Mance Warner. Jody Threat was supposed to be the number 17 entrant, but Frankie Kazarian attacked her. And he stole her spot. I mean, we've seen that before in the Royal Rumble or Battle Royals on occasion. But, I'm not crazy about the finish either. But I'm willing to see where it goes in the context of the story. 2 men holding the same trophy. Nick Nemeth, a former TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Frankie Kazarian has never been the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. something's going to definitely come out of that. We just don't know what or when it's going to happen. But on the whole, I would have to give this somewhere in excess of maybe 3 to 3.25 stars, because these matches are very tricky to rate. I ain't going to lie. So it was fine, but the thing was, I just didn't like the ending. I mean, I was not a fan of that bogus finish, but when it comes to the context of the story, I'm willing to see where it goes. So not much more to say. Bullock, if you want to give a quick thought, go ahead. Or if not, we can just move on to the next match.
Yeah, 3 stars, and I'm sorry, I hated that finish. It absolutely sucked. I mean,
lazy.
These fans had every right to boo it, and
they even chanted BS.
Yeah, that just shows you how much they freaking hate. They wanted to see a true a true solo winner here. They didn't. I mean, if you wanted to have a sole winner, then maybe add 5 more minutes on, and hopefully you get an outcome that's where only one gets the. But yeah, that finish just I would have given it a much higher rating, but that finish just literally rubbed me the wrong way. Sorry, just telling you how I feel. It is your Sledge.
Next up, we had with Kalani Jordan going one-on-one with Indy Hartwell, the TNA Knockouts World Title on the line. Winner of the bout, 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And still, the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Kalani Jordan. Anthony Florio, a lot of people thought Indy was going to walk away with this belt. They were thinking maybe TNA finally gets their belts back. Nope. NXT holds on to the Knockouts Women's title.
I'm actually not surprised. I mean, Kalani just won the title, so it really would have been a disservice to her to, only have the title for a little over 2 weeks. So, that would have been a disservice to Kalani Jordan if they had to drop the belt here. But the end. All right, let's see. Trying to find this here. Okay. Oh, I went the wrong way. I forgot to mention when it comes to that Call Your Gauntlet match. No, I think I did. I think I did speak my piece about it. Oh yeah. I did forget to mention a couple of a small little thing about the Call Your Shot match. The loud, passionate chants of BS from fans regarding the finish, and justifiably so, cop-out finish that negated the entire purpose of that match. Considering that that match was the lengthiest of the night, to get to the final moments and not book an actual winner was a significant creative misstep, and the primary reason for that low rating. Plenty of stories to track and some fun spots, but the closing moments were so unsatisfying that it dragged the quality down. That's as far as the gauntlet is concerned. As far as this Knockouts title match is concerned, 3.25, teetering on 3.5 stars. Solid match, but it struggled to keep the fans invested, but featured hard work from both women. It was an effective bout that put over the challenger while also having the champion retain. Do not be surprised if Hartwell is back in title contention in short order, or if she is still the competitor who ultimately dethrones Kalani Jordan. And Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywald expertly told the story of Hartwell and Jordan's history dating back to NXT, where they were tag team, where Kalani Jordan, Indy Hartwell was Kalani Jordan's first tag team partner on a live event tour, and it added more background to the bout and meant Kalani's victory was more meaningful when she proved she was not the naive newcomer anymore. 3.25, teetering on 3.5. I'm actually not surprised by the outcome. I know there are some people who are, but I'm not. It would have been a disservice to Kalani to have her drop the belt so quickly after winning it. Only 2+ weeks? No. So that's all I can say on it. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts here. 3.25, 3.5. Kalani Jordan still the Knockouts champion.
Yeah, 3.25, 3.5 for me as well. I mean, yeah, this was the right outcome because, like we said, Kalani Jordan just won the title, and it would make 0 sense for her to lose the championship after she had just won it. So don't worry, folks. Indy Hartwell will get her chance somewhere down the line. it just wasn't the time. So, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So, let's move on, Fletch.
All right. With that said, we're gonna go a little more faster here. It was the 10-person hardcore war, Order 4 versus the System. The System winning the match in 20 minutes and 33 seconds. Look, it was a fine match. I think it could have been better in certain areas, but it wasn't as hardcore or violent as we thought it was going to be. But the System winning it, not a big surprise. I would say this was a fine match for what it was worth. Really nothing more to say here. And Anthony, it is all yours. I'll give this about 3 stars.
No, you underscored this. This was 3.5 to 4. This was one of my top fights of the night. Special Agent Zero is an impressive young performer. He commanded attention the moment he joined the bout and continued to do so throughout the match. Even more so when he shrugged off a kendo stick and chokeslammed Alicia Edwards into the thumbtacks. And if you did not respect Alicia Edwards before this match, it is impossible not to after that choke bomb into the tacks. An awe-inspiring moment that set this apart from other like-minded matchups, and it was all her. There is not enough money on the planet for most people to 450 splash a pile of thumbtacks like Mustafa Ali did in the closing moments here. This earned the biggest reaction of the night from the fans and even received a few "this is awesome" chants to boot. The action was hard-hitting, violent, and featured more than a few memorable spots. It was what it needed to be, and the result was the best of the show to this point. No, you underscored this severely, MF. 3.5 to 4 stars. This is an incredible match. Easily one of my top fights of the night for sure. So, Bullock, do you want to give a quick thought, or do you want to move on?
Yeah, 3.5 stars for me on this. I mean, it was good. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So let's move on. Let's move on quickly, Fletch.
Next up, we had was Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. It initially ended in a time limit draw. Santino Marella's like, you know what? Let's go 5 more minutes. So we go, and then Dark State showed up, and the fight gets thrown out. 23 minutes even. Anthony Florio, no! Why did that happen? It was a banger!
And I was on the verge of giving it a 5-star classic. But
yes, I know. I was going there too. It was right there.
But it's only 4.5 to 4 3/4. I mean,
damn you, Dark State!
I want you to listen to me, creative, not just in TNA, but in WWE as well, or any professional wrestling company. I want you to listen to me good. Do not book matches between guys you don't want to lose. It prevents negative reactions that can adversely affect the overall presentation. But that was not really the case here. Even with the BS finish here, this was an extraordinary matchup between two faces of wrestling's future. And no matter how hard TNA and WWE tried to ruin everything they built with 2 horrendous booking decisions, it cannot overshadow what was a thrilling showcase of raw athleticism on display. The crowd lived and breathed with everything Evans and Slater did, and were understandably upset by the finish, or lack thereof. I can honestly say this was the fight of the night, honestly, even with the ridiculous finish. Could you imagine if we had been there and saw this live and in person?
Oh,
I would have been screaming from my lungs, like, "What the hell? You had a 5-star match right in your hand,
dude!"
And you.
This was the moment. This was the moment I knew we effed up. That we should have gone to Bound for Glory. This was the match. This was the match where I was like, God flipping damn it. Like, what the F, man? We should have pulled the trigger.
Oh, this
was the match that made me that. This was the match that really pissed me off about the whole situation.
But luckily, our good friend did. She got to see it.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how.
And good on her. And good on her. Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
So
4.5 to 4 3/4. Oh, Bullock. That damn Dark State. Why? Make it make sense.
You have. Why did you have to have Dark State involved? It made zero sense. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, TNA, you had a 5-star match right on your hands. And you pull it away for what reason? Bro, give me one good reason why you did this.
To protect
think
Leon Slater, to protect Leon Slater and Javon Evans, because they didn't want either of those guys to lose.
I get
one
that, but
one other theory I also have in mind. What championship does Dark State have right now?
They don't have a championship.
they don't have any.
They lost. They lost the NXT Tag Team titles to the Hardys at Showdown last Tuesday. They don't have any titles.
So, okay. Hypothetical. What if we get Javon Evans and Leon Slater together?
Ooh.
What if they take out the Dark State? Maybe they
And they
turn
get
their
their
attentions to the TNA. Not only do they get their payback, but then let them work together. Maybe they go after the TNA and NXT tag team titles?
That would be something.
We'll see.
We shall
We'll see what happens.
Because that's the theory. That's my working theory here, is that maybe this team can work together and let these boys cook. Because that and I hate to say this, but you guys are definitely in the majority. But I will tell you this: there was a few guys in my Discord group, and you know the group I'm talking about, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
They actually didn't have a problem with this outcome. They actually thought it was a brilliant move that Dark State stuck their nose where it didn't belong. They actually said that was a brilliant move, and that it actually was the right decision to end it that way.
Because you're protecting both guys.
Because you're protecting both guys,
they better try to tell that to the crowd.
Hold on.
That was in Lowell tonight, because they would totally disagree with them.
And it also gives that nuclear heat that Dark State deserves. And that's the thing. What is the one thing that they're trying to do? They're trying to establish Dark State as a formidable unit, as a strong, dangerous
And they don't give a
group.
damn with what the people want. It's about what Dark State wants.
But the thing is this. This is what you need to do. If you want to establish Dark State to be in the level of the system, in the level of Order 4, in the level of what the Nexus was in WWE, in the form of the Shield when they were running around, DX, NWO, you name it. Talk about the greatest stables in all of professional wrestling. You need something that's gonna hook and grip the wrestling world. And if it's in a good sense or in a bad sense, it gets us talking. We're pissed at Dark State. There's no doubt about it. We are pissed off and angry that Dark State did this. However, this is why they want us to do that. They want us to be pissed off. They want us to see them get their comeuppance. That is what a stable is supposed to do. Plain and simple. That's the moral of the story. And that's the reasoning of why TNA did that to us. Now, we may say, TNA, you're a bunch of moronic idiots for letting that happen on our watch. But that's the thing. What's the one thing, Anthony, we always talk about? Storyline progression? It looks like we got a storyline progression story that just got laid out right in front of us. And in the moment of anger and whatever you want to call this, maybe now we get Leon Slater and Javon Evans to get a little jumpy and bouncy and start kicking the crap out of some Dark State boys. Maybe, I don't know.
Tuesday night.
Maybe it starts on Tuesday night on NXT. Get a little payback there.
Maybe.
Well, we'll find out come Tuesday night.
Maybe. So that's why. That's the theory.
Yeah.
And these next two matches.
4.5, 4 3/4. But damn it to hell. I mean, if they had this, we all agree this would have been a 5-star classic. That's the only thing I'm pissed off about.
It was there too. It was definitely there.
And then it's like they just pull the rug out from underneath us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And these final two matches, these next final two matches here were literally both worth it for the price, worth the price of admission alone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We start off with one final table for the TNA and NXT Tag Team Championships. It was the Hardy Boys putting the titles on the line against those damn Dudleys. Bubba Ray and Devon, Team 3D. The Hardys wins it all in 15:45. Anthony Florio. My God, what a match.
Yes. There was absolutely no one expecting this to be a 5-star affair or to rewrite what it means to be pro wrestling in 2025. It was instead a nod to contributions the Hardys and Dudleys provided the industry as revolutionaries and game changers. It was one last opportunity for fans to enjoy one of the greatest and most important rivalries the industry has seen over the last quarter century. Was everything pretty? No, but you cannot account for emotion, and it was all over this one. Kudos to ring announcer Mackenzie Mitchell for listing all of the tag team championships these two teams have held over their careers and not missing or flubbing on any. Great work from someone still relatively new to the ring announcer gig. And how about the surprise appearance of Spike Dudley? He arrived to give Bubba and Devon their trademark Dudley glasses. And how about what happened at the end of the match? We basically had an I'm sorry, I love you moment. We remember that. We remember the I'm sorry, I love you. Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24. The Hardys basically did the same thing here with Bubba at the end of the match. After the match, the Hardys helped Bubba to his feet, and Devon rejoined the festivities inside the ring. As fans chanted thank you at all four competitors, they embraced in the center of the squared circle, real emotion painting their faces as the Dudleys took off their boots and handed them to the Hardys, signifying the end of their run. If you saw the post on social media today, Devon Dudley announced that this was going to be his last match tonight. And boy, howdy, what a way for him to go out. You may not have won the match, but boy, howdy, you went out on your own terms, man. You went out like a true champion here tonight. And this was about 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star for the effort. I felt that emotion. I'll be honest with you. I felt that emotion when Bubba and Devon took their boots off and gave them to the Hardys in a true shot and a true showing of respect, and the embraces they had, the raising their hands. I mean, oh man, that was a special moment. And that was another moment. I think that's another moment that made us regret not pulling the trigger here tonight. So imagine if we were there. If we had been there to see that. Oh, man alive. But I see that I don't know if Bullock's left for the evening. He might have. I don't know. We'll
yeah,
see.
He has.
Yeah, I figured. I probably.
I'm very possible that he probably left, but no problem. We only got one match to go after this. Anthony, totally agree. This was at least a 4 1/4, 4.5 star match. Unbelievable fight, incredible battle. Much respect to all four men. Yeah, there's really nothing more to add. Main event for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Trick Williams putting the title on the line against Mike Santana, winner of the bout in 16 minutes and 15 seconds. The new TNA heavyweight champion of the world is Mike Santana. Finally, it's over. The reign is over. And finally, TNA gets their world title back, and a true champion has emerged. But it almost got blown up in his face. After Mike Santana won the championship, we almost had a double cash in. Nick Nemeth showed up, looking like he was gonna try to cash in on the title, had the trophy. Next thing we know, it was Elijah showing up and knocked him out with the guitar. And then Frankie Kazarian was sitting there waiting for something. But here's the problem. He didn't have possession of the trophy. In order for you to cash in on the Call Your Shot, you need to have possession of the trophy. It's like the Money in the Bank. You cannot cash in without having the briefcase in hand in order to present it to the referee. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you meant or what you said. But so in order for that to happen, technically Frankie Kazarian, that would not have counted. So that would not have counted for Frankie. So Nick Nemeth had the trophy. He tried to cash it in. Elijah whacked him with the guitar. That took Nick Nemeth out of the mix. Frankie stepped in the ring, and you kind of looked, and he was looking, and he was like, I want to attack, but here's the problem. I can't cash in because I don't have the trophy. Without the trophy, you can't cash in. Mike Santana survives the night, gets the feel-good moment, and man, the one moment that almost gutted me was when he presented that belt to his daughter. Oh. And that, bro, I almost lost it. Like, even my boy, because I was on the Discord group with a couple of my guys, and one of my buddies, Mexi, he was like, "Man, I don't want to cry right now, man, but you're about to make me cry. God damn it!" So, yeah, I think we all would have been pretty gutted at that moment, man. The third reason why I got pissed off that we didn't go to the show. So, yeah, that was awesome. Nothing more to say. History made, unprecedented crowning, new world heavyweight champion Mike Santana. Anthony, like I said, 4 to 4.25 stars. It's yours, man.
Yeah, 4 to 4.25 stars. This was a fantastic main event, thanks to the raw emotion with which Mike Santana fought. Trick Williams was excellent in his own right. His in-ring work heads and shoulders above where it was at this time last year. The chemistry was there. The fans were red hot for the match. And the finish was exactly what it should have been. Mike Santana paid off his journey, regained his company's title, and celebrated with his daughter. It did not need the cash-in teases, but that's nitpicking. It was damn near perfect. Trick Williams talks trash on TNA, but still has an arena full of fans chanting, "Whoop that trick," proof positive of his enormous star. And long story short, this was very much a Mike Santana wins or we riot kind of night. And rightfully so. If Trick had gone over, I'll tell you right now, they would have rioted. There most certainly would have been a riot in Lowell, Mass tonight.
We got the rug pulled out. We had the rug pulled out from under us at Slammiversary. We did not need the rug to be pulled out from under us tonight. Because we all felt like Mike should have won it at Slammiversary, and then Trick did that fake out and won the match that way. So yeah, so no doubt about it. Great outcome, and nothing more to say.
Let me just there's one other quick thing when it comes to this. Mm-hmm. There is absolutely no one more deserving of a moment like this than Mike Santana. I mean, going into his days at House of Glory Wrestling, I mean, they put their world title on him to showcase him. And you think about everything the man's been through. broken, reborn, ascending to the best version of himself. And I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that we're all so happy to see everyone, for all of us to finally notice what many have already known. He's deserving of the moment, just like Joe Henry was when we were all rooting for Joe Henry to get his moment, which he did in January at Genesis. 9 months later, but this one had way more emotion than Joe Henry did. Joe Henry was a feel-good moment, but this one was an even more feel-good moment. And yes, when he presented the belt to his daughter, yeah, I felt that. I started to feel that myself. So that's why those last two matches alone were worth the price of admission alone. So that's what this event is all about. So congratulations, Mike Santana. You damn sure deserve it. And I'm hopeful that on Thursday night he'll get that victory lap. So can you imagine what that victory lap's going to be like on Thursday?
Oh, man.
Just imagine what that victory lap's going to be like. So,
oh, yeah.
4.25 overall review time.
All right, Anthony, actually, you lead off on that. You go ahead, man. It's yours.
Yes. Two incredibly emotional moments. A match of the year candidate from Javon Evans and Leon Slater. A fun underdog story featuring Gia Miller. And a bloody and brutal hardcore war match helped make this an easy thumbs up. Even the things that did not hit as well as they should have were passable at worst. TNA showed up, showed out, and while there were still booking decisions that left a lot to be determined and desired, it produced a strong edition of its marquee event. This is a solid 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. Very good show here tonight. Yes, we did have 2 BS outcomes, but at least they made it up in the main event. At least they gave Santana his moment that he should have had 3 months ago. But as the old saying goes, better late than never. So, and the Hardys and the Dudleys, awesomeness to say the least. Leon Slater, Javon Evans stole the damn show like we all knew they would. The hardcore war was amazing. So yeah, 8.5. Thank you, TNA. And this is why right now they're at their peak. A lot of people thought this company was going to flounder many years ago. They thought like, oh, this company's not going to last. They're not going to last 6 months, let alone a year. 23 years later, they're still here. And right now they're enjoying their most successful period in the history of this company, bar none. And a show like tonight showed you why. 7,794 a North American record attendance here tonight. Almost 7,800 people in the Songus Arena in Lowell, Mass tonight. Excellent. 8.5. Not much more to say. Take us home, MF.
8.5. Totally agreed. I thought it was a great show tonight. Props to TNA, man. Biggest show of the year, and you boys delivered. Congratulations to the men and women of TNA for a very delightful show. Yes, our friend, one of our good colleagues, who actually has been supporting us for a number of years, and I appreciate her support and love for this show. She went to TNA tonight. I don't want to put the name out there. I don't want to put it out in the ether on the internet, as you guys know. So, but we see you. We appreciate you. We love you, my friend. I'm glad you had an incredible time, and we'll chat. We'll definitely chat. But yeah, Anthony, what a night it is. We're out of here Tuesday night. We do it all over again. It is the return of Ridiculously Raw. Anthony, as always, we're going to do the fallout, obviously the fallout from Crown Jewel, as it's Monday Night Raw. Like we said, early morning. It's going to start in about a little around 7.5 hours, a little less than 7.5 hours at 8 a.m. And then obviously NXT, we'll cover that. And then on Thursday, College Football Thursday, Friday's NFL Friday. 1 week from tonight, 1 week on Saturday, we do it all over again with Cerebral Smack Talk back on the Saturday schedule. And yeah, we got some good stuff coming up, folks. So until then, for Anthony Floyo, I'm Michael Fletcher. And in spirit, Michael Bullock and Dee Dee Woodson. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you all on Tuesday night.